Hello everyone, we'll be doing a live analysis for the Nifty index to see basically where it can go now. It is at the all-time high of 21,000 it touched this week and closed at 20,969. So this is the weekly chart and we'll take a look at this area to understand what are the supports and what are the resistances. So first of all, we'll mark a few supports. One is right here. Second would be right here. Yes. And the last one would be this. And if you see, last week we got the highest ever closing in Nifty 50, and this week was again a big gap up opening, and we got another all-time high and another highest ever weekly closing. If we go to the monthly chart was also highest ever closing last month in November, and this is the December candle in 1 week. We have to see that there is a big gap between this week and last week's candle. If for any reason Nifty comes down below this candle, this gap will be filled very, very quickly. So we have to be very careful. So for this reason, we'll mark this low, make it red. This has to be a very important level. This is 20,507. And if we go to the monthly chart, this is somewhere in between. All right. Let's see where the trend lines take us. What trend lines can tell us what new breakouts have happened. We go from here to here. This was the trend line Nifty was following. And we see that the Nifty 50 index has given a big breakout of this trend line. This is the bottom trend line. So this is basically a rising wedge pattern. A rising wedge pattern is not a bullish pattern, it's a bearish pattern. And when a candle closes below the lower channel, you're supposed to have a big fall. But being the Indian market that it is, it has given a breakout in a further rising channel pattern. Alright. We are not going to predict where the market is going. We are only going to react and see where it is going and trade our stocks according to that. The previous levels are really not important right now. These were all important levels when the stock was trading in this range. Now it is way above it. Before it comes down to these levels, if it comes down ever to these levels again, there are a lot of important levels before that. So we do not really need to talk about this. The main reason that Nifty has given this breakout is one is the election thing that happened in India recently. Very, very positive for the market. So there is a big breakout and the bullishness still continues, even though on Friday there was a lot of profit booking. This was the daily candles. The daily candles have been like this for Nifty. There's hardly any movement. This was last week's closing candle, which was the highest ever closing. Then a big gap up, which gave us the breakout. Then a gap up, and then after that, 3 days, it has been in range. It won't be a big deal if it comes down to take a retest of this level or comes down to take a retest of this level. But if it comes down below this level, this gap that remains, if it comes down and gives a closing below it, you have to expect that this gap will fill if it comes down below 2507. What is our first support? If we see on a weekly chart, the next support after this we have is this trend line. Closing below this trend line can indicate that it is going to test this level. So what is the trend line level? Approximately 20,690. The weekly candle is going to form on this, and this is where it touches the trend line. So we have to be careful of two levels, 2690 if the stock comes below that, and 2507 if the index comes below that. There can be a big quick gap filling. This is all I had to say about Nifty. Right now the sentiments are very bullish. It has given a breakout. It can retest and then go further. It can break and come down further. So we have to see where it goes. Next week we'll make another video and see where it went from here. Thank you.